What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Willie Cunningham coming back at you again with yet another video. Today I wanted to talk about this whole masculinity thing and how some perceive it as being toxic. Um, what's interesting about that? I had a talk with somebody on Facebook. If you all follow me on Facebook, you may have seen it. But what blew my mind was the person that brought these issues up was a female, but she wasn't downing masculinity. She was actually talking about the lack of it and how people look at it as a threatening thing in society. But you know what? In society, in this day and age, people are making it like a toxic, threatening type of situation. But how else are we going to have an equally balanced society if we don't have true feminine women and true masculine men out here? For instance, I was raised in a household where it was, part time. It was my father until I got into like my double digit ages, 10 up till 12, 13. From that point on, I didn't have a male role model in the house to show me how to be a man. My mom did the best I could, the best that she could, but I think to help further develop that masculinity in me, I had to go out and find that with my neighborhood friends back in the neighborhood. And like I had one older brother, and I had to find that and develop those boyish, manly skills, the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Just being around other guys is what young boys need. A mom can nurture a boy. She can do the best she can, but she can't show a boy how to be a man. Young men need those older, or even sometimes younger, males around him so they can fight. They can make fun of each other. You know what I'm saying? That they can do things that boys do. I never wanted to play with Barbie dolls and play tea time or whatever the girls play. That's a reversal. Somebody let me know. How is it toxic that a man wants to see his boy grow up and be the best male that he could be? We need males in the society. We can't have a society of all women. Where's the strictness going to come into play? Where's that the providence that men offer? Where's that going to come into play? There's a lady that did a study, and she's a pediatric doctor, or she researches behaviors in infants and the toddlers. She was saying that in her study she found that infants and toddlers, they all respond to the moms and the dads differently. They know the mother by her voice and by like the breast. If they're breastfed, they can just look up at them and they can differentiate between their mom and their dad. And they know the dads because of the bass in their voice, and they could tell because of the roughness of his hands, the hair on his face. That's how those kids could tell the difference between the mom and the dad, and they responded differently to that. So, and then when they tried to reverse it, or when one of them was absent, they reacted differently. Like if they just were around a woman all day long, they were one way. They responded one way. But then when they introduced the male in, their bodies reacted a totally different way. So, this is kind of like a rant at this point, but we need a society where we have true feminine women and true masculine men. Now, somebody leave a comment. Somebody, join in on the discussion, because it's things like this Me Too movement that's almost making, I'm not definitely not condoning men to act in the animalistic, biggest, sexist manner. Nobody should do that. Nobody should objectify women and say, hey, they're only good for sex. And likewise with the men, that we're only good to work and make money. Like, there's so much more that men have to offer. But what I was saying was the Me Too movement type of thing is making it almost impossible for a single man to go out there and get a date. Because if he tells a woman that she's pretty, he could face a fine. He could face being fired on the job for saying, hey, like the way you did your hair today, you smell really pretty. That could almost get a man fired or jail time because of the few rotten apples that spoiled the barrel. And the only reason that you know about that is because they're these high-profile people. But anyway, it's stuff like that that's destroying the fabric of this society. Back when our parents were getting to be even teenagers, the society was way different. They taught them respect. They taught them to respect authority, especially your mom and dad. Respect your teacher at school. I heard stories that when my parents were in school, if they behaved, disrespectfully, the teacher was actually allowed to spank the kid with a ruler. And then the kid got a note and had to take that note home. If the kid got a spanking at school, they had to take that note home and show the parents. And guess what? When they got home, they got another. So it's stuff like that that help to strengthen the moral fiber of those days. That's why you got 50, 60-year-old men out here that's still working. And they keep complaining about, I got back problems, I got knee problems. But guess what? It was instilled in them 30, 40 years ago that men have to work for what they want. Nowadays, stand in line and get food stamps. Say you got PTSD from being bullied on Facebook, being bullied on Twitter, stand in line, now you got a mental problem. Just go collect a check. That's the kind of mentality that's weakening men. So, like they say, somebody fight me on it. Somebody argue with me about it. I want to hear y'all's feedback, but that's my little 2 cents, my little rant on it. So leave me a comment, like the video, share it if you know someone this could help. So until next time, you guys, it's Willie, and I'm out. Peace and blessings.